What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Lands of Alaire. Thanks for sticking around, and thank you very much for the new follows. Our party
is getting into character.
You just picked back up your ally, Bilberry, who had retired to his family's home in the northern kingdom of Elenvir, the northern parts of the kingdom of Elenvir. And so, that next morning, you guys and your many companions hop back on the Landmaster and return to the immaculate white stone roads of Sumedia, passing by rows and rows of perfectly trimmed, looming trees, which seem to turn and keep watch in time with your step. And as you pass through this space, you are dressed as traveling performers, a circus group of sorts. We have Jar as the ringleader, and Gilroy is a clown. Melee looks like a trapeze artist without a trapeze set to swing on.
It's kind of just hanging upside down from the side
Sure.
of the mask.
And then we have Leander and Erlon in a donkey suit, marching along the side of the road.
Yes. And as we're in there, I'm just explaining to Leander as he's sighing and probably sweating in his plate mail in the donkey. Like, don't worry, Leander. Asses are dignified animals. They help till the land. Civilization would not be what it is without these animals. Yeah. You should be proud to be an ass.
Yes, it is humbling. So always stay humble. For certain. Definitely couldn't have just been had an invisible carriage, had to dress up in these suits, right? Right?
This is far more convincing if somebody walked into an invisible carriage. There'd be questions. Now be quiet and get character.
You know, I agree with Jar.
Arena finds this
it must be right that she agrees with me.
Very entertaining from your end, and there are elves that walk on past. However, they do find you to be a passing oddity at most. Just something very strange. Hiron is the only one that really has to hide himself, as he would be instantly recognizable. So he stays within the confines of the wagon while you traverse the lands of Elenvir. And upon approaching the gates of the city of Sumedia, Hiron explains, I managed to capture the Battle of Waterwheel in this looking glass, and it should provide ample evidence to convince the otherwise blinded council that they should join our cause. I already sent message to Mosatrius and Baranor, Salira, and the rest who were at least making attempts the last time we were here. They should be awaiting for us. And as you approach the gates, you do see the trio of High Elves who had assisted you and promised to assist you in spite of the High Council's rulings are awaiting by the gates. And they readily escort you and Hiron and the rest of your companions to the council chambers. There's a sizable gathering of High Elves already awaiting you and your allies. It seems as though those who have been working towards your cause in Sumedia have not been idle. And soon a sea of onlookers line the stone seating in a semicircle in the great chamber. The moonlight is cast in a circle above your heads as you stand in the center. Hiron begins stepping forth. I had cast aside all titles, all honor, in the hopes of assisting these heroes. Now we arrive, and they have achieved their first major victory over the Farinwellians. Yet it was hard fought, and we are in dire need of allies. Watch now. And Hiron casts forth his looking glass, which shatters on the floor, a great whirlwind of dust and glass swirling into imagery of desperate battles, rubble-strewn buildings, and smoke rising high into the air. There are legions of Farinwellian soldiers marching forth, imagery of you coming to the defense of the innocent, battling alongside the downtrodden. There is much murmuring and low discussion. A small group of elves leave the chambers in disgust, but most stay seated. Mosatrius, Baranor, and Salira stand before the gathering. Mosatrius, your most stalwart ally during your times in Sumedia, presents a simple question. Who, my friends, better represents the virtues of our temples, the deities we so reverently serve? King Tavarius Cowden of Farinwell, or these few who are fighting for a better tomorrow for all? The elves stand and kneel in waves. Hiron starts once more. We must use every defense at our disposal. Their legions will immediately turn their eyes towards Elenvir for breaking their truce. Yet we will be ready. And with that, many contingencies of elves begin to plot and plan. There are lieutenants who begin to bring forth warriors who march the streets. Supplies are carted up to the monstrous ramparts of Sumedia, and in the countryside, you can see rows and rows of trees shift, positioning themselves against Elenvir's eastern border, which aligns with Farnwell along the rolling mountains. Hiron, as there is much immediate activity, turns towards you and your allies and goes, "You are very welcome to stay here in Sumedia for the time being. Our city, of course, holds vast resources if you find you are looking for something to help you in your journeys. However, the skirmishes along our border will begin almost immediately, and soon there will be scouts at the city gates. If they see you, I don't know how long we can last against the full force of Farnwell. I advise you head south, swiftly, and as quickly as possible."
There's no way to hold off breaking your truce or pact until Waterwheel's been relocated and you can have more of the
Sargarians?
Yes, thank you.
No worries.
Forces down here. I don't know how long that would take.
Well, the council is ready for immediate action, you see. And that is what we have been proposing for these past few weeks. Now that we have this victory under our belts, there is a confidence brewing here in Sumedia. I have a feeling that Elenvir will be able to hold out for some months, so long as all their legions don't point in our direction. So I've heard. Rumor is there's a great storm along the northern border of Farnwell that has made it impossible for them to march further north into Sarengard, and that has given them the opportunity to gather both forces, which we saw in Waterwheel. I don't know of their doings further south near Vulcanreef, but I do know that that is where they've amassed great wealth. The gold mines there are expansive. I wouldn't be surprised if many of their legions are committed to maintaining control there. However, there wouldn't be a second thought for them to turn them towards our borders and roll over us in a moment being. So, we have to begin immediately. However, is there anything I can do for you while you're still here?
Well, now that the kingdom is on our side, are we permitted a night in the city?
Yes, of course. I'll see you to it personally.
I'm sick of wearing this
Yes.
clown costume. Not mind one more night in this beautiful sanctuary you've all built for yourself here.
Absolutely. I'm glad you've had a growing appreciation for it. Well, it's sad to see you gone so quickly, such esteemed guests. Let me show you to your quarters, and of course, if you have any requests, I'll see to it. And, yeah, he brings you to the temples, essentially, the high temples atop the very tallest plateau of Sumedia, and there you are brought into the very back sanctuaries where you are provided silken beds and all the greatest accommodations. And yeah, is there anything that you guys would be looking for here in Sumedia? There are obviously healing potions and stuff available if you find yourself low on those. But, you know, you can also try and scrounge forth cool magic items and stuff.
I could scrounge for some. Couldn't pay for any. We haven't been paid in a while.
Hiron assures you that as long as it's within reason, such things can be requisitioned.
When's there going to be a dragon to slay so we can get what comes with that?
Get what comes with that.
I don't know if we need the trouble right now.
So is it everybody has their own quarters?
Yeah.
Alright. If nobody's going to explore the city or anything. Alright. So then as things settle down and people end up in their late hours,
Sure.
I walk to Jar's room and give it a knock.
Enter.
And I enter with Silas floating
behind my bed or behind my head. And,
I need to find myself a pet too. I'm jealous.
It's like a far less sinister Daenerys.
yes. Well, it's funny you should mention that, Jar. Do you have any of that? What was it? Mead you picked up the other day?
Why do you ask?
Well, I'd frankly like to have a drink.
Well, that's fine. Okay, sure.
Should you pour it or I?
Well, I don't know. Do you trust me?
Oh, of course.
All right, I'll pour.
Yes. At this point, absolutely.
Yeah, there are silver goblets back there along your bedsides.
So, cheers, I suppose.
Cheers.
And I take a drink, and it's really not bad.
Oh, not bad. It's wonderful. The only stuff I've had better is made of mushroom.
That's why I like you, Jar. You bring a different perspective to the whole thing. But it's time now. Well, I've been called back to the college where I originally set forth from, and I'm hoping you'll accompany me.
To college, eh? This
Yes.
is interesting.
There's many books. There's
Oh no, this is why I said very interesting. This is exciting even.
plenty of underground.
Oh.
Spent many years there.
Are you in trouble? Because I know your type don't like to be underground much.
In a sense, yes.
You like having a stout roof of earth.
It's true. Regardless, I'm glad you're willing to tell the others now. Thank you for the drink.
You want me to inform the others that you're going back?
No,
Oh.
that's quite all right. I'm feeling a bit more ready than I was before.
I see. You thought I'd be the most understanding, so you started me to work up courage.
Yes, you're
Would you like some more mead?
another sip won't hurt, will it?
Well, no, not at all. It'll probably be beneficial for you. So here you go.
Thank you. And I head down the hall to Erlon and Leander's room.
Sure. Rooms.
Maybe there's an
brothers are
adjoining
hanging
door.
together.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck in that
Erlon likes the company.
Yeah, Erlen likes the company, but I don't know if Leander's sick of me. And
He snores pretty loud.
Wow.
All right, and I, a little more brazenly, men.
What?
It's Gilroy. Ah,
It's late, Gilroy.
I know, but I have something to tell you.
You. Okay. I get up and I open the door.
All right.
Thank you very much. Wait for Silas. I think floats upon.
I didn't know he had to be announced, but
Leander's at
Sure.
a desk, in the room, and he's got his holy book. He's got a quill and some ink in it, and he's on his lute, and he's strumming a couple horrible chords. I don't know what Erlon is doing, but
cringing.
I would have thought you broke out the drums.
Tried to keep the beat for you, but
It's not working.
you need to tune that. It's definitely been a while.
It would help if I took my gauntlets off. Anyways, Gilroy.
Have you two any drink?
I didn't think you were much one to drink, Gilroy.
I wasn't, but I have some news.
What would the news be?
How about a drink first? I've not known you two to be so unwilling to drink.
Oh, who said unwilling?
Yeah, well, what are you trying to say? Oh, we can drink.
Oh, we can.
Oh no! So there are skins of red wine that are positioned for you alongside the goblets and whatnot that you could definitely drink. But you two have specifically Erlon, you've gathered up quite a few various ales and spirits from many taverns across Alaire, so you could probably bust out a collection if you wanted to, essentially.
I move the wine over, and I'm like, might as well be water.
Well, I wouldn't know, to be honest. Not quite as... I don't like that as much as jar stuff. But thank you. It's new. And have I got something new for you? We're going to Nelfaron's.
Excuse me?
I've been called back. I've been summoned to my college. And you're coming with me.
You're sure of that, huh?
It's in the southern direction.
South. South.
I know that.
Southern direction.
It will be a quick trip. I'm sure there's something, well, I'm sure you'll be quite the hit. You too.
I mean, it took a while for you and I to become friends, so I don't expect much friendship there, but I'm sure I could show them a couple moves.
I'm sure you could. Probably never seen anything like it. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I think I'll have another.
Well, I suppose if it's on the way, we can stop in.
I'm glad you'll be by my side. I wouldn't rather have no one else.
I wouldn't rather have no one else.
This is about 3 drinks in, 4 drinks in, so.
The next one's a Constitution saving throw.
So,
I don't know that
Passes
we'll
out
do
at
that.
Bailey's.
you've got a bonus.
If you insist. 16.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're holding yourself together, but you're
There
feeling
you
pretty
go.
tipsy.
Well, have a good night, Gilroy.
Yes, there's but one more.
Yes. I'm sure that'll be...
Melee.
Yeah, hopefully...
Ooh, good luck.
Yes. Good luck with that. I don't think I have got that much courage. Got me to be... I'll wait outside the door in case you need to be pulled out.
Thank you.
So uninspiring a paladin.
And I walk down the hall singing the Nelfaron alma mater.
How loud is he? Can I hear
He's
him?
gonna be, roll perception.
I think I was busy.
No,
sure.
13.
We love your cup.
Red and black. Alright, so I head down the hall.
Clara walks past you.
Good evening, miss.
Keeps walking.
And I find Mainley's door.
Okay.
And I rap on it.
I open it.
Mainley!
Oh boy.
We're going to Nelfaron's!
Why don't you come in?
Oh. Yeah, of course. Yes. I've been summoned.
You've been summoned.
Yes. They promised me power and titles.
You're drunk.
Is that what this is?
When are we going?
First light.
Who's going?
Everyone. I've talked to them all, and I'm paying you to come with me. Sound good?
I can't keep a straight face, but Melee has a straight face.
Yeah, I know, that's
I
fair.
was just watching him.
Alright.
It'll be great.
Are you staying there once we arrive? It's the end of your task.
It's true. I will be bringing them quite the cast of people. That's what I was sent out for.
And I agree to that.
But I found I quite like the life on the road. I've learned more here than many years in the library. That decision will be made in the morning, I think.
That is fair. Well, of course, we will head out tomorrow.
Good.
But if anyone doesn't want to stay or doesn't want to go, will they allow them to leave of their free will?
I would think, yes. I have some pull now. I hope.
Okay. I think you owe me a few gold from
Ah,
the last. No, it's fine.
Left him in the other robe.
yes.
Alright. I will escort him back to his room.
Okay.
Leander, are you around the corner? Like, watching this?
I think as soon as I hear them, like, get up, you probably hear Leander running back down the hall. You know, you probably catch him running around the
How
corner.
quick am I? So you're not a quiet individual.
No.
Can I throw something at him before he makes it?
You
back
probably
to
can,
the
yeah,
corner?
sure.
Do I need to roll for that, or can I just throw?
Well, I mean, you know. Yeah, throw the attack.
I got my goblet from next to my thing. Not great. Maybe 17-ish.
Yeah, you're still gonna hit him. It's just
Okay.
not it. What were you throwing at him?
Like a goblet.
Clang!
Yeah, hits him in the back of the, back plate, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
And he just kind of keeps
Clatters
running.
on the ground.
Perfect.
An elvish maiden comes forth and picks it up and looks down both ends of the hall. And so, finally, at the end of the night, you guys get a full evening's rest in. And Hiron awakes you and offers over to you as he awakes each of you. In the least, I managed to gather these for you. They may be useful. They were made by our most gifted alchemist. And they're each potions of supreme healing, which is 8d4 plus 8 healing. So yeah, that's a really legit healing potion to be used as a last resort, hopefully. And you begin traveling. Hurston is already at the ready and was informed that you guys should essentially leave by first light, as off in the distance you can already see, as you approach, you can barely see the glint of soldiers making their way over the hills and down into the valleys to begin battle, essentially, with the Elenvirans. The battles there have begun, but Hiron has assured you that Sumedia can stand whatever they throw at it, and Elenvir as a whole is more capable of surviving these types of ordeals than just Waterwheel alone. So he gives you some reassurance, and you begin making your way southeast, out the gates of Sumedia, traveling the misty roads of Reshkara, the vampire's domain. And though there is an eeriness to the terrain, you feel safe. The graveyards are calm, and as you approach Reshkara's estate, you see a broad figure with a shining silver helmet, Rock the Flame, who is quartering and hauling stone with which to construct a temple not far from the mansion. And there's kind of just a few base stones laid. However, he is working hard night and day with carts and mules, and he seems to have gathered forth some young human apprentices that he refers to as squires, as he commands them around and whatnot. Essentially, yeah. You see, Arena is more interested with catching up with Brock and his doings, as she's starting to grow to the idea of this commitment. It sounds like a worthy cause, and would still, it would be exactly what she has trained for, and you have trained for some time, to slay undead, and it would permit Elenvir to actually assist in this battle, this war at whole. However, Reshkara does walk the wide, broad hood and black robes. He walks before the front of his mansion, and it takes a good, I believe it's about 2 or 3 days to get there, and as you approach the mansion, it is evening once more, and he invites each of you to take respite there as needed. And especially as Bilberry enters kind of his estate. He turns towards Bilberry and he goes, so then, everything went as intended? And Bilberry turns up and he goes, yeah, it's all taken care of now. And he goes, well, the mistakes of an apprentice. And essentially guides you within. And Bilberry seems like he didn't so much want to talk to Reshkaro, but still a degree of thankfulness for the opportunity at vengeance that he was given. And you guys sleep within the mansion for an evening. And is there anything you guys would like to do here? Anything you'd like to address?
I'd like to know how Gilroy was feeling the next morning.
Sure.
Not very good.
I think Maylee was probably trying to get everyone to practice their instruments. And, get all amped up for new visits. Erlon's with me.
Cool.
No, at the mansion, I think Maylee's probably good.
Sure.
Shaw plays pipe.
And yeah, Chantel is, she goes, you know what? It feels good to be heading east again. Of course, that's towards Farrenwell at large, but it is also towards my home. For some reason, to have the sun at my back. It's interesting. I feel a yearning. And Zorn goes, yes, it's good to be at full force. Look at us all. Now that we're out of those costumes. I'm quite proud. And Brock the Flame, during your time at the mansion, he approaches you, Leander, and he goes, you did well getting me this helmet back in Waterwheel. You remember that adventure?
Of course.
Bilberry had recounted it to me. Funny, I never really got to make much use of it. And he peers towards Reshkara. You know the helmet is made specifically for slaying vampires.
Yes.
And you feel the tension between the two, and yet the agreement they made holds.
I'm glad everything here is working out.
It is. And what are your intentions? Passing through?
I think for now. Who knows if we'll return soon or months? But I'm sure we'll be back.
Right. I'm awaiting your help readily. These squires, they're strong-backed, but they don't have your will.
Yes, I'm sure they've got a lot to learn.
Without a doubt. Perhaps you could sit down with them and read the holy scripts of Torm someday. And Rena, she smiles at the idea, but is obviously quite humorous.
Yes, well, even that, I think I still need a little bit of practice with.
Indeed.
In the the formalities of it, not the, what I do.
It'd be so awkward sometimes. I love it. Alright, so...
Well, I mean, that's how...
Brock goes, I get what you're saying. I do. I know the power you hold, Leander. Well, I'm just saying, it's gonna be good when you're here.
Yes. I would like to talk to Clara.
Sure.
A bit. And I think it would just probably be something passing. I mean, Arena might be there, or Jantel, or somebody, but...
Arena usually is, but
yeah. And he'd probably just, I'm going to be honest, I was at first a bit, not scared, but worried about letting you, accompany us to Nelfaron's. Of course, we weren't even considering going here, but other than Gilroy's request weeks ago, but I think we should be alright now.
And before Clara can respond, Jantel overhears this, as she had already been kind of pondering on your direction. And she goes, well, I do believe that under Lodric in our way, our path, we should stop in Zaeda to kingdom of archipelagos and sandy beaches and jungles, many of them accursed, but there are many powerful allies that we could meet there, and it is the next natural step. However, and Clara kind of interrupts and she goes, I'm glad to be coming to Nelfarons. It's an opportunity. I think that Gilroy's a powerful wizard, and I want to see others much like him, and, well, he has a library full of old tomes, and since that meeting in Sumedia, where they gave me this circlet, I want to know more. Like Saurian Pale, he was a powerful wizard too. Maybe they have a connection. Maybe if we go to Nelfarons, we'll find some answers.
That would be an amazing opportunity. You're right. There is some light to this.
Yeah, she goes, for that, I'm very excited. But, well, it's Aida. The whole deal with the jungles filled with undead and the seas covered in shadow ships and all the rumors I've read and heard of that place. I don't know if I'm ready to go there quite yet, so let's stop at the school first.
That sounds like the plan.
And so, yes, you guys rest within the estate. Anything more? Or is that about it? Cool. In the morning, you travel once more around low, rolling peaks, and you find yourselves, upon going up the hills, swiftly leaving the kind of terrain and biome that Reshkara sustains around these fields of graveyards and whatnot, these misty bogs and ponds and spaces like that. And you can find that you are on higher paths that overlook a wide country of green fields and dark forests. And the trees seem to breathe and undulate in the sun as you look atop the vast canopy. And the air is sweet. But as you guys make your way forward, you approach Nelfarons, and Gilroy can essentially describe what that appears like.
Yeah, Nelfarons is... well, the first thing you probably notice, I don't know, I think there's, not scripture, but literature all along the cobblestones of the road leading up to it.
All sorts of different languages?
Yeah, carved into this wide set road, and it's all leading towards this mountain range, and as we get closer, there's a cliff face with this really mishmash architecture building set at the base of it, and it's what looks like a fort, like an ancient stronghold, sort of on the bottom,
No doubt.
half, and then on top of that sits a more modern, but still probably like a couple hundred years old manor. And off to the side is this strange dome, large dome space, and to the other side is a bridge that seems to lead like straight into the side of the cliff, for no apparent, like a bridge that goes nowhere in a sense. Yeah, and as we approach, I think Gilroy finds not a waystone, but like a stone on the side of the road that he shapes into something bearing resemblance to him of some sort.
Sure.
And yeah, as we get closer and closer, you begin to see robed apprentices and
No doubt.
magicians and stuff, and that structure grows larger, and you can really tell it's been like added onto and taken away from and built upon, and it has been here for a long time, and then destroyed, and then back again. So
It's probably a bit grander than you guys had first envisioned. And also, presumably somewhere not too far down the way would be a hamlet of sorts in the fields that have more common folk that take care of the more mundane tasks for the school itself.
yeah,
Someone's still got to make beer and all that kind of stuff.
sure.
So as you approach, you find that there's an entourage of students, a crowd awaiting as you guys make your way up. And one of them in particular, his robes are distinct amongst the rest, as they are gray, and you find many in red robes, black robes, blue robes, purple robes. However, not too many in gray robes wandering about. And he is an elderly man with a long white beard, and you recognize him as Master Valeris, and he taught transmutation.
Nice.
And as you approach, he gives a bow, and there is a lot of whispering amongst the students. And he goes, Master Gilroy, you finally returned. It was, what, a year ago we sent you on the path?
Has it really been that long?
I believe so. You need a shaving.
Yes, it's hard to be as disciplined on the road, frankly.
Oh, one cannot blame you. Us masters have all been there ourselves, and yes, I remember. You've heard the summons, then? Excellent. There are titles awaiting for you, and the final test, I believe. Nelfaron has spoke quite well. And, he kind of immediately, upon saying that, turns around and begins leading you into the school itself, at least the main structure of it, and gestures for the rest of you to follow along. However, what ends up happening is you are essentially enveloped by the crowd of students, all in robes, and they have questions for you. They are like, your bow, is it ethereal? Can you grasp it but no one else? And your axe, those runes, they're dwarvish, but what do they signify something? And for you, they're just like, your plate is obviously enchanted, and I'm certain it's taken many a blow. Is that the resonant petrification of a basilisk? And, so on and so forth. Towards you, I'm guessing you don't have Zephyros readily available for sight.
No, it's underneath the cloak.
Then the main oddity about you is that you are a dark elf, and they're like, what an intriguing specimen! You made your way up to the surface, and how is it that you is it that you met Gilroy? Master Gilroy, I should say.
I think I need to kill Master Gilroy.
And it's a great clamoring of people with a constant bombardment of questions about you and your armor and your adventures and your weapons.
Is Clara stuck with us, or did she go ahead?
She's kind of towards the back of this group, having been kind of blocked in by Zorn and Arena,
Okay.
so that not too much attention would be drawn to her. However, she has her cloak over her wings now, as she normally does when she's traveling in foreign lands. And, as you can
Farrenwell.
yeah, in Farrenwell, no doubt. Yeah, now you guys have actually crossed the border into the Farrenwellian kingdom.
Now, does everybody have a gazer? Or is it just some people? People who go out?
As far as you can see, no one.
No one else?
No.
Okay.
There are lizards and
that
mice
was Leander's question to the students.
Oh, sure, yeah, no, they explain that many of them, one has a gerbil crawl out of his sleeve, and
Right.
Another one has a bird land on his shoulder, and another one has a little imp that's kind of springing around his legs, but he goes, no, Master Gilroy's the only one who ever ended up with such a creature for a companion.
Yes, you could surely eat gerbils and dragonflies and such.
Not even concerned.
No, I was just joking. Don't think anything of it.
I love it. And, you guys are escorted through these grand trolley chambers of huge bookcases, right? That would be the majority of the very first space.
Yeah.
And you can see that there are, of course, many students who are not amongst this crowd who are studying away in old dusty tomes. Some of them are brewing potions at alchemist table, and all of them are under the direction of various tutors dressed in. What you can tell is, it seems the more colorful your robes are, the newer you are to this school. The lower grade you are, whereas the grayer your robes become, the more mastery you have achieved in your particular area of magic. And there's a few, people who join. There's a few who leave the crowd as you continue making your way on forward. However, Master Valeris this entire time is going, do you remember, Gilroy, the years spent studying here?
I do. fondly at times. When you're sleeping but under nothing but a blanket in the frozen north of Sarangar.
That's so. I never ventured that far north.
At other times, it's, well, I'm glad to be outside, but it's good to be home.
Some of the best reading can be found not within our walls. I can tell already you've stumbled across some powerful artifacts. Yeah, that staff.
Barely.
Quite impressive. However, I'm sure you don't so fondly remember your days below this space.
No.
And you do see the occasional student who is essentially shackled to a broom. And forced to, they're in punishment and are cleaning up amongst all the other learning that is happening here.
Funnily enough, you find yourself underground quite a bit once you leave Nelfaron's.
Yes, I've been tomb diving a few times myself, and I've read a good many tomes on the subject, but I have a feeling you've already garnered more experience than most of us here. And looking around, he goes, the dusty tomes are good for learning a new spell, but if you're really going to change the world, you have to get out there. You're one of the only ones with the bravery to do that, Gilroy. I think that's part of what Nelfaron saw in you. And you guys traverse into the next set of chambers, which presumably would be more like room and board-esque stuff.
Yeah.
And you're wandering past, a great many bedrooms and studying spaces, and many still appear as libraries and whatnot. However, as you reach the end of this hallway, a wall of ever-shifting bricks and wood reveals a long stone staircase as Master of Alaire cracked his staff upon it. It seems to actually take shape. And at the bottom of the staircase is a set of stone double doors marked with eyes, both open and shut. And it swings silently open upon your approach, revealing an incredible laboratory and study space. And this is what that map looks like. And during your time, as you make your way down those stone staircases, you find that the entourage awaits in anticipation back in the lit hallway at the very top. And the space seems to be vastly empty. There's a rumbling of stone, and you can see that there is crates filled with potions and many alchemy tables on the far side of the room. There are specimens in jars. There seems to be study spaces in the corners. However, though there are tables to hold things, there are no chairs or furnishing in this space. Other than that, there's just kind of workbenches and bookcases and whatnot. However, forth from the darkness in one corner of the room emerges a towering construct, a golem with a chain-like fingers and a mace-like hand. And the thing grumbles as it emerges forth from one of these side rooms and goes, Magic user detected. Defenses active. And that is initiative.
Okay.
We'll probably go through a round or two of this.
Okay.
Melee is thrown off.
I wasn't expecting to.
Be attacked?
Expecting Gilroy to be attacked. I didn't know
I'm not really a magic user per se.
Gilroy.
14.
Jar.
13.
Leander.
12.
Melee.
13.
Erlon.
19.
Yeah.
Just Furlon and Gil.
Erlon.
Alright, so this thing is clearly, coming at us.
It's charging
menacingly.
at you now,
Okay.
yeah. With
Yep.
great bounding footsteps. This thing, it looks powerfully magical. It looks as though the material used to construct it were chosen specifically to make the toughest possible guardian. I wouldn't underestimate it, is the
Yeah.
feeling that you're getting.
Gotcha. Okay. So I just look at it, look back at everybody, And I call out to Walter.
Mhm.
Let's take this foe down. I've never seen anything like it.
There's something unnatural about this. Fight well, Erlon.
And I charge in, swinging bloodletter over my head and bring it crashing down. Reckless attack, greater weapon fighting.
You're probably gonna have to dash to make it in. The squares are kind of small and very invisible. What's your movement speed?
40.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, you'll be able to make it up to it.
Perfect.
So, yeah. Do you still get an attack?
Was that a dash? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind.
Dash, yeah.
Nope, good.
Gilroy.
Hmm.
The thing definitely, as its eyes lit, making its way from the darkness, swinging these hands about in a mechanical motion, these great club-like mauls that it has for appendages, which are covered in chains which lash about on the floor. It's looking at you. It definitely sensed your presence, and its eyes are locked towards you.
I will reduce it.
Okay.
So that's a con save.
Con save. It's gonna succeed.
Yeah. Alright, that's my turn.
You gonna move or anything, or just hold position?
I'm right in the front, right?
Yeah,
so I
put
guess
you
I
down.
I guess behind some of my friends.
Okay. Go back here a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure. Get you out the door. Boom. That'll bring us to Jar. Oh, what? The construct went.
We still see it.
He's above you. No, the construct rolled a 14. Jar
Oh.
rolled a 13. It went beneath him in initiative. Yeah, actually, it's going to use a legendary action at the end of your turn before the beginning of its turn. And it is going to slam both fists down, and I need you to make a dex save, Erlon.
Would I get advantage?
Danger
on this?
sense, yeah.
12.
Okay, so you will be hit for 11 damage as he smashes his fists on down, and it also knocks you back 10 feet. So you are out of range of it, and it is going to come bounding down to the south and smashes these tables to the side as it comes across the center of the room and begins to make it. It gets right up in front of you guys.
So do I get my attack of opportunity?
I had it go south so that, yeah, specifically smash you back so that you wouldn't, and then that'll bring us to Shar.
Oh no.
Just going to
Yeah, the thing grumbles out once more. Powerful magic user detected.
Yeah, Jar will activate the invisibility on Zephyros.
Sure.
and then he will. Well, that would be his action, right? Or is it a bonus action to activate it?
I think it's a bonus.
I think I made it a bonus action because it's not greater invisibility, but I'll have to check. I had it not too far.
Charges. It's a bonus action.
This isn't the warmest welcome.
No, there was said to be a test as well. Did you find it?
I only have the charges. I didn't have whether it was
I'm gonna say
Bonus
since
action.
it's not greater invisibility, it's a bonus
action.
Yeah.
So then I will. The Jar will move as far as he can towards the tables to the south, angling to the south.
Sure. Down this way. There we go.
Yep.
Cool.
You will go there. Invisible and see how things develop.
Sure. Roll me a quick perception check.
Perception. 22.
So you use this invisibility and very quietly with quick footsteps make your way, slide over to those tables down there. The golem, looking towards Gilroy, peered towards you as you went invisible and followed you as you made your way across. So it must have blind sight of some sort. It's still able to detect your position.
Okay.
And that'll bring us to melee.
I guess I will move in front of Gilroy,
Okay.
between Gilroy and the construct,
Boom.
and then use sharpshooter.
Sounds good.
13,
13 won't hit.
and again. There you go. 24.
Yes.
For 22,
22.
and
Okay.
alright, I'm gonna use action surge.
Shoot some more?
Yep,
Okay.
do my best. With sharpshooter, 14.
No. So
That
you
one.
shoot these arrows at incredible pace, and
I'll
you
protect you.
yeah, slide in front of Gilroy, and yeah, kind of bring a bulwark before in front of him. However, these arrows, they do pierce into the thing. You'd never miss this thing, as broad as a barn, but just sparks go flying as they go flickering and whizzing off in other directions, just completely deflected by its armor. And that will take us from melee to Leander.
Okay. Alright. I'll run up to it.
Okay.
But you just vanished.
It's not that easy either.
I'll strike at it. That's a 24.
Yep.
Okay. It's not undead.
No. It's construct.
Yeah.
It's literally its name is construct.
10, 20, 21, 28 damage.
28.
And I'll swing at it again.
Okay.
16.
Will not hit.
Nope.
Great sparks go flying all about. That'll bring us to the top of the round with Erlon.
I shake off my daze and run and flank it.
Charge back at it. Yeah,
Yep.
you have advantage on any attacks you make because it's not at all looking towards you.
Cool. I'm gonna go for greater weapon fighting.
Okay.
Not much, but 23.
Yeah.
Perfect. And that will be 24 damage.
Nice.
I will strike it again.
See it.
That's going to be 18.
18 will hit.
Awesome. For... It's going to be 16 more.
16, yeah. Bloodletter cuts deep into the back of this thing's leg and tears away some of the metal that it's comprised of. However, it's going to use a legendary action to turn towards you and Leander. Its eyes begin to glow red hot, and it shoots scorching rays down at you with crazy eye beams. Whoa. It's going to be one hit on Leander for 10 fire damage.
I don't know. Can I block this, or is that mainly just melee?
I don't know the ruling on that one.
I think it just said
They are
damage.
ranged attacks, but it's kind of a special action, so...
Yeah.
Any attack roll?
I
That
wrote it almost
definitely-
verbatim from the book.
That
so-
definitely works for me. I mean, if it's we can look it up for the rest of this combat and confirm that for next week.
It would-
But
Yeah,
Oh,
it'd
down
be,
here.
it'd be
Sorry,
Spirit
I'm reading
Shield.
that one.
Whenever it takes damage. Yeah.
whenever it takes, yeah, that's definitely general enough. So
Perfect.
you can reduce that.
And now it's 3d6.
Whew. Oh, it's gone. So Walter blocks that eye beam that comes down with scorching ray. He charges forth, and his ghostly visage just completely absorbs it for you. However, Erlon, you will be getting hit twice for 20 fire damage. So he manages to kind of bring that constant beam around and sweep it across Erlon's chest, which leaves a scorching mark. And that brings us to Gilroy, which will probably be the last action in tonight's show.
I
No
will
pressure.
blink.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I begin to sort of gain this sort of flickering, opaque facade and body, and let's see if I completely blink out of existence.
Sound up.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Gilroy is gone.
Excellent. And so, now, in the midst of a massive boss fight, essentially, that's where we're going to call it for this week. And we'll see exactly what comes of our journey to Nelfarons and how this fight ends up going, as this beast is not easily defeated next Sunday. Thank you very, very much for joining us, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. TJ, give us all that stuff you do.
Yes, thank you to P8 Blue for the new follow.
Woo!
Much appreciated, man. If you are new to the show, new to Freakopolis, new to the lands of Alaire, consider following us.
Mm-hmm.
We do a drawing every 50 followers. We're at 231 right now, so in another 19, we'll do a drawing from our comics and game shop, the Freakopolis Geekery in Whitehall, New York. We are here 5 days a week selling awesome comics and tabletop and role-playing games. And
Playing games and doing tournaments and stuff.
yeah, if you're in upstate New York or the Vermont area, come and see us. We'd love to have you swing through. And you can find us on all sorts of social medias, like Facebook.com/Freakopolis, Instagram at Freakopolis Geekery, Twitter/Freakopolis, YouTube/Freakopolis Network. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to us for free, which it helps support the show and fund our continued entertainment. So if you really are enjoying it, highly encourage you to do that. If you're watching after the fact on YouTube, consider subscribing there too. We're a little over 300 now, and it's so awesome to see that
Still
continue
building.
growing.
Yep.
Yeah, this should be up on Tuesday. We also have a Discord. Link is in the chat.
Join a bunch of awesome conversation there about movies or tabletop games, video games, D&D, all sorts of stuff that we play and enjoy. So,
or you can check out Freakopolis.com. We've got a bunch of stuff on sale there and cool blog posts and stuff. So
no doubt.
we're all over the place. Search Freakopolis.
And then joined by gaming.
Yeah, Joined by Gaming is a community we created. We promote positivity in the gaming community, and we help raise money for our local children's hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You can find out more about us at joinedbygaming.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter with Joined by Gaming.
Cool. So yeah, definitely check out Joined by Gaming. Awesome gaming events for an awesome cause. And finally, a huge thank you to our father, who is wrangling software and hardware as we do the show, and that is an entire full-time job of its own, and is just as important as any of us players or DMs or anything. It makes the show happen. So a big thank you to him, and we will see you guys next Sunday. Hope you enjoyed the Lands of Alaire. See you then.